Okay, I was trying to tell everybody how I was preserving my spinach, my baby spinach, over the winter. I closed in my porch with plastic. First I put up the trellis, then I put up the plastic. And I had this container, this long container. The cat was getting into it, so these are gutter guards. This might help somebody out there. Somebody was wondering about cats. This is one way to do it. The sun can get through, you can water it, but the cat can't get through. And they're a creature of habit like anything else. If they don't get in there after a while, you can safely take it off. Now, when I first put this on, the spinach was really, really small. As you can see, I've just now taken this off. That is not the case any longer. This spinach is huge. As a matter of fact, I have to trim it today, and I will be, because we're going to have a nice spinach salad. But I wanted to see if I could keep it alive in here all winter. I didn't know how cold it would get, and I know spinach is pretty cold hardy, but it did very well. Very well, and I didn't do a whole lot to it. I think I watered it just a little bit when in Tennessee we have some hot days during the winter. I had one day, believe it or not, it got up past, I think, well, in this porch it got about 80 a couple of times. Of course, when it gets 60 outside, it gets about 20 degrees warmer in here. And I don't really have it sealed even that well, just I kind of put it up there, I mean, as best as I could, but I don't have it airtight, okay? But even if you just put up a little bit of plastic and do the best you can, it worked like a greenhouse. Okay, and I'll show you what else I kept going this winter. Okay, I have my tote garden. For those of you who've never seen it, this is part of my tote garden. It's actually hopefully going to be bigger this year. Most of them need to be replanted. But last fall I threw in some garlic in this little planter, and I used, my neighbor said not to put the plastic, but it was too late. I put plastic over it because I really didn't know. I thought that it would freeze to death in the totes. So anyway, I covered it with plastic in this one, and they're growing and they're fine. Didn't stun them or anything. The next one, I had planted these in the fall. This is yet some more spinach. Amen. Some more spinach. We'll have a whole row of that. Actually, I did a second planting on this. These are a little bit smaller on this end because I think I watered too much, and I lost half of them due to overwatering. But then the Swiss chard took off. I didn't have a whole lot at the beginning, but it seems like it multiplies. And the Swiss chard is still doing great. And again, I kept it all winter. It's still growing. It's doing beautiful. So I haven't really been clipping on it throughout the winter. I probably will clip it a little bit today because of the weather, the cold weather. I didn't want to kill it. And the last tote I had this winter, again, with some garlic. I had a whole bunch of garlic my neighbor gave me, and I never grew garlic before, and I just decided to put it in there to see what would happen. She said it'd be ready by June, which is good and it's not good, because I really had planned this for a different, planned this tote for something different. So now I have the dilemma of figuring how I'm going to move this heavy tote, or just add some more. And like I said, I had to put up some new siding, so I had to take my whole tote garden apart, and part of it is still down there as you can see, and some of these totes have been added. That was where my strawberries were last year. And I also have been out here working. Every time it's gotten nice, we've gotten a lot of rain, and all winter it rained, but during the rain it made it really easy to cut this path out, because what had happened, it was slanting really bad towards the wall, and all the rain was just rushing into the carport, and we since sealed it up and with plastic and different things and soil. But I still wanted to terrace it, if you will, to make another path here and get it flatter so the rain wouldn't run off as easy. And then where these paths are, stepping stones are, what I'm going to do here is put, Lord willing, I'm going to have some more totes here this year so I can grow twice as much. Last year all I had was the totes all the way across the front of the building here, which, like I said, I'm needing to get some more soil, compost, the likes. And this board, I put up some boards actually to hold the soil back, because I'm starting a new I guess a wall, if you will. See, it drops down again behind the board anyway. It drops down, so I had to put the board up here, and once the grass grows in and starts holding the soil, it won't fall in on itself. So that's how I did that. And let's see, of course we have my thornless blackberry over here. Last year it was a little tiny thing, and I had to make a trellis because it started going crazy. And as you can see, one part of it's all the way up. And so that's the trellis I made. I had to put it in some cinder blocks with cement because we don't have very much soil in certain areas in my yard, very, very little. And that's one of the areas that I don't have much soil. So anyway, that's that, and I'll see if it comes back this year. I didn't know if I was supposed to cut it back or leave it alone, so I ended up leaving it alone. And anyway, I'll see what happens. My neighbor gave me that container. I was hoping to put one of my either the cacao pumpkin in there or the sugar baby watermelon, and I am going to, what I plan to do was bring the trellis, continue it a piece there, and there's the block. It's going to be a short run from about there over there, and then I'm going to have another piece of trellis, and then in the middle this is going to be, whoops, trying to get out of the shadow here. Path in between those two cinder blocks. Hopefully, God willing, this was going to be the pathway. And then I got to get some more cinder blocks and more trellis, and then in front of that I'm going to have, again, Lord willing, a red raspberry vine or bush is what I wanted to put on this side, because it definitely gets quite a bit of sun. This, as a matter of fact, this is the only side of the house that does get sun in the front. Now it gets a little bit in the backyard. Of course, there's my bird feeder. That's how all this started, was a bird sanctuary. I had no intentions of gardening, and one day I was out here and one thing led to another, and started feeding the birds and started watching YouTube videos, and decided to get brave and see if I could plant a few plants, and so the yard is getting there. I still have a lot of work to do. I just got everything cleaned on the bottom of this hill, and my husband decided to do a bunch of tree trimming on a tree out front. Actually, I did. It was my great idea. So now I have another pile of wood here and several piles down on the side of the house that I need to get rid of, and I will. I'll get it all out of here. I'll either burn it or put a free wood sign up. Thankfully, there's a lot of lakes around here. Maybe somebody will take it for camping wood. But anyway, a lot of this is hill, mostly hill. Got a few small flat areas, but they're in the shade. And that part is in the shade too. It still needs a lot of work. And so I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it. I was thinking about making patios out of pavers or what have you. And down here, I was thinking about putting in a herb garden on the very end where those cinder blocks are. That's my burn barrel. And then in front of that, maybe some gravel, and put a fire pit in there after I get all the limbs gone out of there again. But anyway, it's getting there. The birds just love it out here. They love my little umbrella bird feeder unit. I put the umbrella up last winter. I think it was last winter. It was really, not this last winter, but the winter before, it was really rough out here. It was snowing like every 2 days, so I put the umbrella up to cover it in case the snow came, and then the birds could still get out there, and well, they just love it. So they're spoiled rotten like everything else out here now. And yeah, he's in the bird bowl. And the woodpeckers, they're just showing off. I'm not sure what kind of bird that is. Let's see, they're just really afraid of me, can I tell you? There's cats that sit out here and just watch them because they're so fat. And, they know nobody's going to bother them. They're very bold. They're bold birds. I'm not sure what kind of bird that was. Maybe somebody that likes birds can tell me. I know that's a black-capped chickadee right there. But the other one that just flew off, he acts like a woodpecker. There he is. He's right there in the tree. Acts like a woodpecker, but I'm not sure what kind that is. I used to love to watch birds, but I got into it from a friend of mine, and he's no longer around, so I don't know. I just know they're pretty. I know I have a red-headed woodpecker out here, and a few others I've identified, but I don't know what that one is. So if anybody knows what kind of bird that is, you can tell me. And yeah, just spoiled. I made that little bird feeder out of a milk jug, and they like it too. They just pop in and pop out, and they just I'd love to just be able to just sit down all day and not do a thing but watch birds. I haven't really had that opportunity. Hopefully soon. But anyway, that's what I've been up to. Y'all have a good day. God bless.